Oh boy. My camera is all messed up. That's because I'm the only one here. Hey there, Control. Raven Huck, how are you doing today? Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to get this fixed up pretty quick. I'm just going to, yeah, we're going to have to edit that a little bit. Usually there's many more of us in Discord. And that is Mike's forehead. All right. Yeah, well, they're not. Well, I mean, yeah, they've already built their characters, right? So I'm just gonna get my ranger in here, and let's see if I can remember how to do this. It should be pretty quick with the filters. And you know what? I'm not even gonna bother because I'm gonna go to the gameplay one first. And this one is all jacked up too. None of the cameras are on. Got some Roll20 up. There's my forehead. And Laz actually may be joining us, but he had some stuff that he had to do first. So we'll see. If he does, then he's probably going to screw up my cameras all over again. But that's all right. Let's bring this down. 200. Let's try 240. Hey, that's getting closer. And too much. Getting warmer. This is such a pain because OBS makes you type in like all the borders for the little screen capture that you're doing. 315. Whoa, not 356. But at least I can do it on the fly, so that's not too bad. This is the worst thing ever, watching somebody do technical crap on a stream. Right? Yeah, it's kind of, you can't just point and click to capture, but hey, it looks like that's close enough. What do you say? Awesome. And at least our chat is working this time. Well, is it? So chat is supposed to be on that overlay right there too, and it's not. That's a bummer. Oh yeah, do you stream too, Control? Oh, cool. Yeah, it took a little bit to figure out, but so for doing like multiple cameras, we have Discord, right? And then I'll set up what I call a camera in OBS, right? Because everybody switched off of Streamlabs. I think Streamlabs you could just like pick the little, like draw a little box around whatever you want to capture. But OBS apparently you can't, at least if you're on a PC. So I add a screen capture for my Discord screen, and then you have to pull up filters, and then it's the crop pad filter, and you have to type in like how much you crop down and right and left and all that stuff. It's kind of a pain. It would be nice if I only had to set it up once and I was done, but stream from a PS5? Okay. I don't even have a PS5 yet. That's cool. What kind of stuff do you stream? For me, it's just D&D. I used to stream kind of a dead game, Dungeons and Dragons Online for a little bit. It's a little bit dead. Although I've seen some of the guys that I used to watch, and they're doing like okay. One of them's about to be a partner on Twitch, so he's averaging like pretty good viewership. FPS stuff, right on. I know like my stepson loves FPS stuff, but I suck at it. I think the last one that I was decent at was, this is going to date me a little bit, but it was Doom, like the original Doom. Maybe it was Doom 2. It was like the first real like PC FPS. But I remember that the little brown imp guys shoot the fireballs at you, and I was still young, so I'd be like ducking at the keyboard, trying to get away from them and stuff. Or if somebody shoots like a rocket at you or something like that. But all the new stuff, I don't know. I'm just too slow. Oh, let's see. What are we looking? Is everything? Oh, this. Okay, cool. The chat is actually showing up on the little box on the stream, so that's cool. It's kind of hard to read, huh? I'm gonna have to change the settings on that. I wonder if I can do it really quick. I just want to see if there's a really quick setting where I can change the text to, pardon me, color, buddy. I just want. Settings. There we go. Oh, phone. Yeah, it's probably pretty small, huh? I was looking at it. I got it up on another screen just so I can check and see how all the stuff is working and whatnot. Because were you here for the last stream? I don't know if you're here for the last stream, but the sound was a little disastrous. So we didn't realize it during the stream. Everybody was saying it was like quiet and jacked up, but I was like messing with all the audio settings as much as I could and couldn't figure it out. It turns out that like Discord wasn't going into OBS at all. And the only way you could hear anybody else that was on Discord was through the back of my mic. And so everybody sounds like, even if you turn it all the way up on the VOD, it sounds like they're in the shower or something. So yeah, it was pretty bad. But you know, learning, growing pains, the way these things go. So I'm sure we'll get it ironed out. I'll have probably a couple of these actually before we go live, right? Because we're starting January 17th for the first adventure. So I'll probably have a couple practice ones in here. I'm going to make some characters today. So I didn't get too much of a chance to finish my character last time because we were getting on towards like 3 hours and wanted to do the drawing, and everybody, you know, we're only doing like 3-hour streams. So I'm gonna finish up my character today, and then I'll probably try and do some like what I call munchkin builds, like the D&D power builds, if anybody's interested. I've come up with, I mean, there's a ton that are on the internet, right? If you just want to go in and just roll your DM, or if you do like Adventure League or whatever. We're doing 5th edition D&D, the newest one. It's like 10 years old or so, I think now. I think it just celebrated like its 10th or 12th year. But yeah, it's good. I skipped a couple editions. I did like sort of the original, and I don't even think it was necessarily the original. It was 1st edition, but the first one that I did was the red book with the big red dragon and the guy fighting it on the cover. And so I want to say that was like Moldvay D&D, but it generally regarded as like 1st edition because it was before basic and advance. But I did that and then skipped a whole bunch until I came into 5th. Shadowrun looks super cool. I never had any friends that played it though. But it's like all techie and shit, right? Like you have like hackers and it's kind of like sci-fi, right? But who knows? Maybe we'll do. I think if we have a lot of fun with this, then maybe we'll see if people are interested in playing some other like pen and paper stuff too. Fallout pen and paper, huh? That would be pretty cool. I played a little bit of GURPS. I don't know if you ever heard of that one. That was I had a friend who was really into it, and so we tried playing that. That's one of the ones that like transcends like not just medieval fantasy. It's got like rules for like magic, but also rules for like laser guns and stuff. So it's a little different. Some of them get pretty heavy in the rules, and I don't know, like one of the things that I kind of like about like D&D, right, is that the rules are pretty I think there's like this big learning curve right at the beginning, right? Just getting used to it. But after that, like so much stuff is just sort of common sense. And it's pretty, I've always found it was pretty rules easy rules. Getting into it, and it lets the DM just make a lot of judgment calls and stuff too, I guess. But I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling up my character. It's gonna be in my journal, and you might have missed it last time, but everybody else kind of got, I think, their characters mostly done. Siren, I think, is Laz's character. And that should be probably this is his Water Genasi monk. And I want to say he had pretty good rolls too. Yeah, he had a pretty good set of rolls when he rolled up all his stats and stuff. So, yeah, he's doing a Water Genasi monk. And Warwick, I think, is our bard. Pretty sure this is our gnome bard. So that's Jimmy's character. And I actually went through some of his stats and stuff. There's a new option in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything where you can, each different race gets like a +2 to one stat and a +1 to another stat. Well, Tasha's kind of gives you the option of moving those around. I think that basically what they're trying to do is make it so that every ranger doesn't have to be like a wood elf or things like that, right? So we moved his around, I think, and made his rolls just a little bit better. Gunslinger build in Shadowrun. Handicapped himself by using a sniper rifle. And then he got his rifle stolen. That's oh, it was like gunfights? Okay. So why did it handicap him by using a sniper rifle? Because I guess a gunslinger is supposed to be like the two revolvers at his side. It's probably built for that. And then he didn't use it until his sniper rifle got stolen. That's funny. Yeah, and even on the build that I'm doing, I'm not doing like a super optimized build for this. Yeah. I'm trying to make it still competent, right? But not going like super crazy with it. Let's see, what else do we have? Nagy's character is the Dragonborn, sort of Dragonborn Paladin. Man, did you see Nagy's rolls? These were all the rolls up here from last time. Like her arrays that she rolled were nuts. So she's like starting with the 20 somewhere. But yeah, 16, 15, 15, 15, 11, 10. Like she got all the beginner's luck on her dice. So she's got, what's she rolling with? A 20, a 13, a 16, an 8, a 13, and a 16. She's going to be buff as fuck. And then Gamma is doing a sorcerer. Yes. Yeah, he's doing a sorcerer. A tiefling sorcerer. Shadow magic. And he got pretty decent rolls too. He's starting with like a 19 charisma. I, on the other hand, I got all of the crap rolls right at the end. So let's see. I hit like the one was 13, 6, 12, 9, 11, 11. And then the other one was a 4, 11, 13, 7, 10, and 8. Like it was such a horrible array. Yeah, we're doing the digital dice, like right in Roll20. So yeah, I didn't get to huck any like dice across the room or anything. But you know, it is what it is. I started, I'm actually just going to go ahead and I'll probably just start over so I can bring you through the build. Because I was trying to use Character Banter a little bit at the end of the stream last time, and I don't like it. I like being able to skip around a bit. More danger. Oops. Danger. And then we'll put this in everybody's journals. And then that'll controlled by me. And save changes. And this will load up. Yeah, I don't know. Have you used Roll20 much before? Because I used it a few years back, and I've tried to play some games in Roll20. I even DM'd a couple adventures, not like full campaigns or something. It was for like sort of some like West Marches type of stuff where there was multiple DMs and everybody just had like a tavern / guild hall, and you could just pick up a group and run an adventure out of there and sort of do whatever you wanted. There's no specific setting or whatever. It was kind of fun. And at least you could usually find a group or get a group together if you wanted to run, but there wasn't nearly as many people wanting to run adventures as there were wanting to play them. So I don't think I ever got to play an adventure with that group. I think I only ever ran a couple, but it was okay. And yeah, Roll20, you know, it's got its little idiosyncrasies and stuff, but it's one of those things that you just have to work around. In our case, because there's like 3 virtual tabletops, at least 3 big ones. There's this one. I always forget the names of the other ones. It's not Forge something. Maybe not Forge. I don't know. But if you ever were interested in playing like D&D online and you search virtual tabletop, you'll get probably like 3 that come up pretty quick. And I'm just spacing on them right now. One of them's like downloadable through Steam and everything, and it looks pretty cool. Like there's one that a lot of people are using, and I really wanted to be able to use it. The problem was that you can't switch GMs in a game, so it just doesn't have that flexibility. Whereas like this game, I've already made everybody a GM, and they can have their own folder and put all their DM stuff into their own folder and run a game. So like when Laz is up, I'll run the first 2 adventures, and then Laz will run probably a level 3 adventure after that. So that's why I'm building a level 3 ranger today. So he can build up all his stuff and have it all organized how he wants and stuff. But it's pretty cool as long as the random dice generator doesn't completely screw you on your character over here. But anyways, I'm gonna get into building this character. And basically where I started with the idea for this character, like, and I've come up, man, being a DM, forever DM, I actually have a spreadsheet with like, I counted them, and it's like over 40 different characters that I've made. Some of them, it's a couple versions of the same one, doing some crazy munchkin stuff. But like just a ton of characters, right? And so in some cases, they're inspired by trying to get the most damage. I had one where I was trying to make the fastest character possible. I had another one where I was trying to get as many pets and familiars and all kinds of stuff as you could. And even one, like I generally like to play the monstrous races a little bit more. In this case, I'm going to be doing a halfling. But I really like playing like the goblins and the kobolds. And I still, probably in the next campaign, I'll probably try to play a bugbear or a hobgoblin or something like that. I don't know why. I just like the monsters a little bit. It's probably too much time as a DM, honestly. And so, yeah, I just identify with the monsters better now. But the idea for this one is because we've had some new books come out in D&D lately, right? So we had the newest one is Strixhaven, right? The school, Strixhaven. Actually, I got it up here. Strixhaven, and we're going to give one of these away here in the future too. Curriculum of Chaos. I think Nagy's going to be giving this copy away sometime in the next month or so. And then the other one that we've been doing, and we're going to give another one of these away as soon as we hit 100 followers. And we gave one away last time, but that's the Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. And so that's one of the newer books that came out at the Strixhaven came out since we had the idea for this stream. And so I wanted to use some stuff out of Fizz bands, right? And the two new character subclasses that you can do is one is for a monk and the other one's for a ranger. And then not knowing how familiar everybody is with D&D, but ranger has been like the most I think it's like the one of the more hated classes that they came up with in D&D. Like when they first put it in 5e, it was just so underpowered. Especially if you take the cool one where you get like the cool pet, like companion, you know, everybody wants to be like Dritz with the ranger, drow ranger with the two swords, and he's got his little panther companion, and everybody wants to be cool like that. But as soon as you do, it just like totally gimps your character because the animals just don't scale, and yeah, they're just really they don't work very well, right? It just doesn't. You put a ranger, like the original ranger, next to any other character class, and they're just gonna blow them away. So it's always been like for years it's been the weakest class, right? They do unearthed arcana, which is like rules, experimental rules that they're trying out, and they put one out for the ranger that was like crazy. It made it like super overpowered, with just a couple minor changes, and so I think they've had a real hard time balancing it out. They made a couple good changes in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, where it changes a couple of the basic abilities of the class just a little bit, and I'll show some of that too as we get into building him. But I really wanted to get in, so the two subclasses in Fizz bands. One was the monk, like Way of the Dragon or something like that. I didn't look too much at it, I think, especially because like Laz was planning on playing a monk from pretty early on. And I was like, screw it, I'm going to build a ranger and just show that a ranger can still be kind of kick ass and super fun, even with my super bad stat rolls. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're building level 3. I'm going to be doing some multi-classing to make this build work. I did a little bit of homework away from the stream, coming up with some ideas, and it should be a pretty actually fun character. And so here, I'm going to see if we can use our compendium. See if I can drop Halfling over. Do it, and then I want to see particularly I want to do a Ghostwise Halfling, and I'm not expecting everybody to be super familiar with this. So this is out of the Skag Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. So there's a couple different types of halfling, right? And they haven't gotten as much treatment as some of the other races. When you look at them, so if I pull up the original halfling, right, this is kind of what people start to think about Lord of the Rings, right? Stolen from Lord of the Rings, except I guess in this case, halflings actually get to wear shoes and may or may not have fuzzy feet underneath. We don't know. But they're still these small guys. They're actually smaller than gnomes, and a lot of people don't. I know a ton of people that think that gnomes are the smallest race, but well, of course not with fairies now, because they do have a fairy race. But gnomes average slightly over 3 feet tall, and halflings are only 3 feet tall. So if you didn't know, now you know. It's not the most important thing. Although everybody does seem to be like, my character is 6'2" and 195 pounds. But anyways, halflings, kind of the standard ones. You get your two sub races are Lightfoot and Stout. So all halflings are going to get a +2 dex score, right? And then if you go to like Lightfoot, then they're going to get also a charisma bonus, and they can hide a little bit better. And if you go to Stout, they're going to get a con bonus and get some saving throws against poison and resistance to poison damage. However, the one that we're going to be doing is the Ghostwise Halfling. And the reason why is because we get this wisdom score increased by 1. Where do kobolds fall? That's a good question, because I think kobolds are also size small. But we should get it straight out of Volos. Between 2 and 3. So they're like basically the same, a little bit smaller than halflings for kobolds. This one's a tough, if you want to do a kobold player character, you get amount of Volos, right, for all the traits. And the tough thing is this sunlight sensitivity, which I think actually drows have too. If you have a super lenient DM, they'll let you like grab some sunglasses or something so that you can get out of this. But I don't know. I think it's cheating. Although I think drow have the same sunlight sensitivity if you play a character drow. Monsters, rules, races. Oh, you get out of it by playing the half. Races, dark elf, drow. Yeah, they have it too, the sunlight sensitivity. So that whenever you're out in the sun, you end up getting disadvantage on all your stuff. The one way that you could really get over this, and maybe I'll make a build for it sometime, is do a druid, right? Because if you do a druid, you transform into an animal, and then you don't have the sunlight sensitivity anymore. So a kobold druid could actually be a pretty good character, I think, during the day. But yeah, so we're going to go with Ghostwise Halfling, and they have some pretty crazy lore too. A lot of the stuff that I do, I'll go and look on like the Forgotten Realms wiki and stuff like that and pull up some of the lore and just see if I can get some character like inspiration from those, right? And so Ghostwise Halflings basically are supposed to have come from this Chandlewood, right? And back in their history, it doesn't really tell you here because this is more geared towards like player races, but there was like some crazy like evil person that most of the Ghostwise Halflings like sided with, and they did some pretty evil shit. And so they're not nearly as widespread as the other types of halflings, right? And most of them are stuck in this wood. And so I was thinking about how do I use this, right, as a race when it's like this kind of outcast race, right, as far as like the halflings are concerned. And I'm thinking that rather than them still being within this Ghostwise clan, right, because a lot of people, the first thing they do when they're making a character is they like kill off their parents, right? They're like, my parents are dead and I gotta go avenge them. Or something like that, right? Like just everybody's like an outcast and has no family. But this guy, he's gonna be from like a good family, right? Like his dad didn't beat him. He loves his mom. She's like super cool and loving and like packs him cookies and shit whenever he goes to visit. Goes home to do laundry every once in a while. I don't know. Like maybe he hasn't seen him in a bit because it's probably hard to get around. But what I'm thinking is that, you know, some of these Ghostwise Halflings, like, and this is way back, right? Like hundreds of years, they went and did all this evil shit. So I'm thinking maybe like this family in particular was like, nah, we're not going to go do that evil shit. We're going to go hang out with some other halflings instead. And I think maybe like when people recognize that they're Ghostwise, I don't know how you recognize a Ghostwise Halfling from other ones. But I think that they're like separated from their whole history, right? Backstory, you mean character blackmail? Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like everybody's so afraid. They're like, oh, if there's like a girl back home that I'm in love with, or if I have parents, they're just gonna get freaking kidnapped, and now I gotta go rescue my family. But just if you want to see some character blackmail, I don't know. Laz isn't here, and he's So I was thinking about this a little bit because if you look at Laz's character. Yeah, there's only a couple. Okay, don't tell Laz. No spoilers, right? But this is a pretty cool character. I don't know if he put it in here yet, but he has like this really unique background, right? And no, I'm not going to spoil it. So basically, but what I'm going to say is like basically in his background, he did kind of tool it a little bit so that it would be really difficult to like mess with him based on his background. But being the devious DM that I am, I think I came up with a way. So this is gonna be like late in the campaign. So hopefully everybody forgets by then. Somebody will tune in, right? Somebody will go back through the VODs at like level 17 or something, and they'll be like, he did say he was gonna do some shit. But yeah, so I'll find a way. I have this whole thing. It actually would make such a cool adventure. Like I have it just like brewing in the back of my head. But our character is going to be from this family that's like disconnected from their history, right? And not maybe like a little bit ashamed of it. Like they're sad that like so many people did all this evil shit. But they were like one of the good families, right? Like enough to see that like, hey, that's not cool. And then the other like weird thing about Ghostwise Halfling is like after all this shit went down, right? They had this vow like not to speak until they could atone for it, and so they developed this silent speech, which is where you can talk to somebody telepathically within 30 feet of you if you share a language. So that's like kind of a neat little thing. I think we're still going to talk because I think it would just be a pain in the ass to just telepathically talk to like one person at a time. So I think we're going to be past that where maybe since they didn't do the evil stuff, I don't know, maybe they still have this this power, but they feel as though this family has atoned, right? And so they're speaking with their actual voices now. But we do have this. So we're going to get a wisdom +1, which is going to be helpful for a ranger because that's our casting stat. We're still not going to have the best rolls, so I'm going to stay away as much as possible from stuff with DCs. The difficulty checks, right? And mostly do stuff that doesn't have like attack rolls or DC checks because I don't think our wisdom's going to be super great. It doesn't look like it added in our bonuses automatically, but that's fine because we can figure it out pretty easy. What we did do last time is we did hype dice where people were like in the chat and doing something. And so like, as long as they were like typing hype dice in the chat, we were going to have commands, which speaking of which, I want to see if you guys are, yeah. Oh, sweet. So cool. So even though we don't have channel points, one of the cool things that you should be getting Electrum right now. And let me see if I can do, I think it was add points. I don't know if, is Mike Danger a mod? Mike Danger's not a mod. Okay. I didn't mod myself, even though I modded everybody else. I was going to throw you some Electrum. But if you type exclamation Electrum, it should tell you how many points you have. I wonder if I can. Yeah. Oh, cool. So it is awarding them. So like already I have 140 Electrum. So you should probably. Oh, no worries. I was just checking. I got distracted by my ADD. I was checking to see if our commands were working. It looks like they are. So you're getting some cool. Yeah, 440 Electrum. Nice. So those, if you look like over above the roll or the roll 20, those Electrum you're going to be able to use to give like different bonuses to people as they're playing, right? So 400 you can't do a whole lot. I think at 500 you can do like Blade Ward, and then it starts to snowball from there. Yeah, and I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'm trying to set up D&D trivia for the channel, and that is also going to award some Electrum too. So we'll have some like D&D trivia in there, which I always find. There's another channel that I was watching on Twitch, Bustin's channel, and he always has trivia going through there. And I love it. Like I'll sit there and just, I don't even chat that much. I just sit there and just try to dominate trivia. So with our Ghostwise, back to this, right? It's going to take me all night to build a character. So here's my stats, 13. So I want to try and get to evens, right? So I think, and I was saying the last time we had hype dice, which is where, if somebody said hype dice in chat, then we gave the player a chance to roll an extra d6 to add on, right? So that's these ones that are in parentheses. So in keeping with like how bad my rolls are, I got a +2 on that, which I mean, at least it's that, but it was still just not good. So we're going to try and keep these even. So we want wisdom and we want dexterity as high as possible. So I think we go the 12 + 2 in the dexterity gives us 14. And then +2 from being a halfling, that'll give us 16. Yep. We'll take this 13, throw that in wisdom. The +1 from Ghostwise halfling will give us 14 there. And so that's my 13, that's my 12. The 6, I'm going to dump charisma. And it was actually funny. I was planning on doing this. And so I was talking to my wife. And I think I was flipping through some stuff on my phone, and she's like, "Oh, what are you looking at?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm looking at how I'm going to play the character." And she's like, "Oh, what do you mean?" I was like, "Well, I just need to figure out how to play a low charisma character without being an asshole about it, right?" The stats for your brother. Oh, is that 5e character? I thought that was for the other game because it had like a 25 strength, which you're not supposed to go over 20, but he's like maxed out. Yeah, that's insane. Just like all the stats. But I guess homebrew rules probably a little bit to get it, or some kind of epic shit to go over 20. Because usually I think the stat's supposed to be capped at 20. Thought, but he must be doing some epic shit. That's cool. But I guess it's fun when like everything you do just works and you want to play like a superhero. In this case, my character's not going to be a superhero. I was talking to her about how to play this low charisma character, right? And my wife actually is in the education system and has worked with like special needs kids for years, right? Especially kids on like the autistic spectrum and stuff like that. And a lot of what I saw was stuff like this, describing that, or people were saying, "Oh, just play him as like a complete asshole." You can, they were talking about giving them stutters and stuff like that. And my wife is actually a speech language pathologist. And I was like, I'm not going to, do all this BS, like making it seem like it has to be somebody disabled, right? And I was just like, how do I play this guy where he still could be in the group and somewhat likable, but, he just has this low charisma. And like that, just like without hesitation, deadpan, straight look on her face. And she's just like, well, you could just be yourself. And I'm just like, all right. Thanks, babe. so I guess at least even giving him the 6 charisma, I get to play him as myself. So that's our 13, our 6, and our 12. I got a 9, 11, and 11. So I got like some pretty average scores here. Obviously, I think we don't want a minus in con. And he's already got a low charisma, so I don't want to give him the -1 in intelligence. So I think we're going to give him that in strength because he's kind of a little guy anyways. So there's our stats, right? I think I mean, we still got a 16 and a 14, some kind of average stuff. It's not going to be like a superhero. The biggest thing is he's definitely not going to be like a master negotiator or anything, right? So yeah, I think we can play that though. So we got our Ghostwise Halfling as a ranger at level 1. And let's see, I guess the next thing, if we pull up a ranger, and did I close the Ghostwise Halfling? I sure did. So I'm going to pull up ranger, and then we'll pull up Ghostwise. And then we'll just pull up regular halfling. And we can start pulling all this stuff in. So let's see, personality traits. We'll get to that in a little bit. Subclass. So this one, like I said, I'm actually going to do a smart barbarian. Nice. Yeah, and I mean barbarian, like you can play it like they just have to be big dumb guys hitting stuff with really big sticks, but it's probably kind of fun to play like a smarter one, right? You could just come from a more primitive culture or something. But let's see, let's build out our guy a little bit. Creating a ranger, and we got to do backgrounds too, so we know what skills we're going to get. And so these are the ones that changed. Your first level features, favored enemy and natural explorer for a ranger, changed in Tasha's. But we're going to go ahead and do, so hit points at first level is 10 plus your con mod. So we can go ahead and do, our con mod is 0. So our hit points is just going to be 10. Hit point maximum is going to be 10. That's kind of a bummer, but that's okay. Proficiencies. We can probably just drag these over the compendium, but I think more screen. All right. We're going to go light armor and drag that proficiency over to tools, tool proficiencies and custom skills. I think we go to other proficiencies because it's not custom skills. So we're going to go light armor, add that. We're going to go medium armor and drag that. And then we'll go shields and that. Weapon simple. Grab some simple weapon proficiency, and we're going to grab martial. Shield helps if I can type. Martial weapons. All right, and no tools. Saving throws, strength, dexterity. I'd already marked those for us. Choose 3. Can't remember which ones I was going to choose, but I know no matter what, we're choosing survival because a ranger, right? Like, so you still have to be kind of a ranger. So we're kind of forced into that one. And then I think perception. And then here I'm I don't know if I want to go athletics so we can like climb and jump and all that stuff, or stealth. But I'm thinking more stealth, especially with the halfling. So I think for right now, we're just going to mark stealth, and that'll give us a pretty good stealth because as we go up, at least some of this stuff, this is wisdom and dex skills. So at least some of the stuff will be based on our good stats, right? Okay, take care, man. Have a good one. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. And yeah, so at least some of our skills are going to be based off of like decent stats, right? And at least we'll be good at the ones that we're good at. And we might really suck at like performance and deception, but that's cool. All right. And so the equipment, I think I'm going to buy equipment, especially because I can't even use a longbow. So I think we're going to do the roll from, I should not be rolling in here. But let's see, favorite enemy. All right, so this is one of the ones that changed in Tasha's. So favorite enemy, the only really cool thing about favorite enemy was that you got the language for, you learn one language of your choice spoken by your favorite enemies. And that was about it, right? So it says you have this experience studying, tracking, hunting, talking to a certain type of enemy, right? So you choose your enemy, and at low level, like say, the other thing that sucks is you choose undead. Now you don't get a language. Okay, so what happens if you want favorite enemy undead? You get advantage to track them, which just doesn't come up a whole lot, and then to recall information about them. And then with undead, you don't, undead or plants, you don't get a language. Same thing, oozes. So you could take like giants or dragons if you wanted to learn their languages, right? But that's really what you get. Like you don't have any advantage on actually fighting them. And people just, it's situational at best, right? And a lot of people don't find it incredibly useful. So Natural Explorer was another one where if you actually ended up in your favored terrain, it might be okay. But a lot of people don't really like traveling in D&D and don't like playing it out, right? That exploration. I'm sure that there are games where it's really important and they do stuff kind of like, there was quite a bit of this in like first edition, right? Where you explored like this whole hex map and had to go out and find stuff, and it made a real difference in what your travel times were between places and managing food and all this other stuff. But you look at a lot of games and they don't even track how much food you have, and they're not marking off rations in every game and all that stuff. So it doesn't it just doesn't matter to a lot of people, right? So in those cases, I don't know, it's pretty underwhelming where you're not tracking food, so who cares how much food you find, right? So I guess if you had the right DM where this made a difference, then it could help. It could be something useful. What they did do is Natural Explorer, they changed to, what the heck did they change it to? Something cunning. No. Natural Explorer. What did they change natural to? Natural Explorer. I'm going to just pull up the book, which I could do also in like another tab or something. But I know it's like right here. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Go find Ranger. And I just want to see what it's called, and then I'm going to pull it up. Paladin Ranger optional. Deft Explorer. Deft Explorer and Favored Foe. So I should be able to pull up Deft Explorer. So in the new version, right? So this is saying you're a pretty cool explorer. So at first level, you get double your proficiency bonus in a skill, right? So that's kind of like expertise in a skill. And then you just get 2 languages straight up right at level 1. So there's no just getting one at, like here you would get maybe one. Here you would get maybe one language from your favorite enemy. And I guess technically you probably could get the 2 and another one. If you just wanted to have all the languages, you could probably take Deft Explorer and Favorite Enemy, and then you keep getting these languages. But here, Deft Explorer is going to give you 2 at level 1, and then the expertise in a skill, which is pretty sick. So our expertise, I'm gonna have to think about that. It'd be nice to just disappear, huh? Stealth, be the super stealthy guy. Heidi, but also perception might be nice. Huh. we're gonna have to give that some thought. But yeah, then at 6th level, we're gonna get our walking speed up to normal with our halfling, because we're down to 25 being a halfling, where everybody else is at 30. So that'll be nice. And then you get a climbing and a swimming speed, so I won't actually need athletics, so that's good to be able to climb, because I'll have a climbing speed. And then tireless, some temporary hit points, 1d8 plus whiz, and that's all right. It's pretty good for a 10th level. So Deft Explorer is a pretty decent one. I don't know if I can see if we can just drag this over. We sure can. So now I'm Deft Explorer, and then what was the other one? Favored Foe instead of Favored Enemy, right? So Favored Foe, as opposed to Favored Enemy, where we just learned a language, and you could track, right? You get a bonus to survival and intelligence rolls to recall information, and survival rolls to track your favored foe. In this case, so we just hit any creature, it doesn't matter, and we call them our favored enemy for a minute. It is concentration, so we can't do Hunter's Mark at the same time, but so now from the first time on each of our turns that we hit them, we're going to get an extra D4. At 6th level, it'll go to a D6, and at 14th level, it'll go to a D8. And you can use that equal to your proficiency bonus. So we're going to start off with 2, but that'll go up pretty quick. So that'll be nice to just not burn a spell slot if we still need to do some extra damage. Versus the language, and what else? So it's either like this kind of not quite as good as Hunter's Mark, or but it's free, although it's still concentration, and we're weighing that against favored enemy, which would give us a language, and then an advantage to track using survival, and advantage to recall information about an enemy using intelligence roll. Again, it's something that really depends on your DM, right? Because even just having like advantage to recalling stuff, to tracking and recalling stuff, if that came up, it could be great. But how often is that going to come up? Once in a campaign or a couple times. The intelligence checks trying to recall about different undeads or something, but you still have to pick the right one too. If it was like, if you didn't have to pick one, because that could be really useful if you're like, I don't remember that thing about zombies or wraiths and how you kill wraiths, and then you get the advantage and you can magically recall what's the best way to kill a wraith, then that could be clutch, right? But it's only going to work for you on you only get a handful of these, right? One at first, one at 6th, then one at 14th. So you're going to get 3 of them. And some of the more useful ones like undead, because they got some tricky stuff, or like fiends might be good, but some of the uncommon stuff, fiends, aberrations, that. But yeah, I think we're just going to go favored foe and just try it out because that's new. So we're going to take favored foe and drag this over here too. And then, oh, look at that, favored foe, tireless. Why did tireless go up there? Because I dragged it in from Deft Explorer. It doesn't know that I don't have that yet, but that's okay. All right, so now we got some of our basic ranger stuff for 1st level. We got the proficiencies off of it, and then I think the next thing we want is like a background. And so here's where here's where we can make it a little interesting and make up for some stuff if we need to. So I've been looking at two. So shipwright is one that I'm definitely looking at, which I thought would be cool for our, I thought this would be pretty cool for our campaign because we'll be on a ship. So if we did get damaged, it gives you this ability where you can repair the ship. It's got some cool flavor stuff in here that I like for the character. And I really wanted my guy to be from Happy Family, where maybe his dad is like a carpenter, right? And that's where he learned how to use these carpenter tools. But he's just really caught up on ships. And so that's why he's out here on this ship, right? He just loves boats, right? Like the same way, like, I don't know, sometimes people love boats. Sometimes people love like trains or planes or whatever, right? So he's just, you know, into boats. And that could be like, maybe he wants to design like the fastest boat in the world. The other one was just for our group, because we don't have a rogue. So we have like criminal and I think bounty hunter, urban bounty hunter, and actually, you know what I'll do? I'll pull up D&D 5e backgrounds. And I had this up before, and what we want to do, so here's my concern, right? Thieves tools. Nobody in our group has proficiency. Nobody in our group has proficiency with thieves tools. And so I was going to look through here and just see one type of gaming set, artisans tools. Criminal gets thieves tools, but I don't know. Disguise kits or else. Gate urchin. I don't know what book that one's from. Thieves tools and a musical instrument. Type of gaming set. Proficiencies. Thieves tools inquisitor. Investigation religion. I don't think that we're an inquisitor as a ranger though. Type of gaming set. Navigator's tools. Oh, you know what else? I was going to turn on some little background music so that which one? Pirates. A little much. Go to the Halfling Festival since we're building a halfling. It's not too super loud. Check my balance. It looks like that should be pretty low. Hopefully, if that's too low or not low enough, just let me know. All right, so we're looking for some more thieves tools. Anybody else get thieves tools? A spy. Stojanau prisoner. Trade sheriff. Urban bounty hunter does get them. And you know, we're just not going to know how to pick locks. We're going to get massively defeated by like any door. Spy, huh? What is a spy? Criminal background spy. So, feature. Variant spy. Although your capabilities are not much different from those of a burglar or smuggler, you learn and practice them in a very different context as an espionage agent. Bond. James Bond. You might have been an officially sanctioned agent of the crown, or perhaps you sold the secrets you uncovered to the highest bidder. I just yeah, I don't feel like our halfling from his happy family is like a spy. I mean, I suppose it could be like a Bourne. Jason Bourne. No. You know what? This is like the only time that shipwright is going to be like cool as a background is when you're on a ship in a water campaign. Right? So that's what we're doing. It's fine. We'll figure out some other way, like through doors or whatever. So that gives us, I'll patch it. It gave us the background shipwright. Right, so I'll patch it. I can do this. Does it give me, it gave me carpenter's tools and water vehicles automatic. I love being able to drag it over like that. It's kind of nice. All right, so we're gonna be a shipwright, and then I think, do we get languages or anything? History and perception. Oh, so we already had perception from that. So now, if I get history and perception from shipwright, carpenter's tools, vehicle, water, I'll have to get this stuff and then I'll patch it. So that means from ranger, I can close favored foe. But from ranger, I got animal handling, athletics, insight, investigation, nature, perception, stealth, and survival. So now we have survival, stealth, perception, and history from shipwright. So we could take athletics, although we are going to get a climbing and a swimming speed. So I don't know if we're going to need athletics except for maybe jumping. Insight is a nice wisdom. Investigation, we're at 0. Nature is another int. Feels like maybe the ranger is supposed to know about some nature. But we're kind of like a sea ranger at this point, right? Being a shipwright. So our last skill. Animal handling, I think, is only domestic animals. Although that really depends on... do we need to be good with animals? It's always good to be good with animals. What is everybody depending on the ranger to be able to do, right? They're not looking at them for insight. They're looking at them for survival and nature. I think everybody wants the ranger to have some nature. Although, doesn't survival covers that, right? That's a good question. Does survival always cover everything that you would want to use nature for anyways? And just one is wisdom and one's int. I don't know. I think even as a DM, I'll let people like persuade me which one to use, right? So like somebody nature might know like the scientific name of the mushroom that you found and whether it's poisonous, but the guy with survival or the girl with survival or whoever is also going to know, like, they might not know the scientific name, but they're still going to know not to eat it because it's poisonous, right? So I think that's a little bit too much overlap. I wish I could trade like a skill proficiency just to get thieves tools just so that somebody knows it, but we're just not going to know them. That's going to be our big glare. I can't believe it. We've missed that across everybody, but that's okay. All right, so pick one. Get some ups, some jumps with athletics, or animal handling. Also probably wisdom. Yeah. Hard to tell. I guess I could click on it. Yeah, wisdom. halfling that's good with animals, the halfling that can jump, the halfling that can with bad charisma and good insight. I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. A little bonus to investigation. Searching for stuff. Stealth, survival. Yeah, it probably shouldn't be this hard. It's definitely not. Let's just go with what is our halfling? Our halfling shipwright is gonna be good with a little bonus to investigation, maybe. Right, so you can investigate like what's wrong with the ship, what the cause of something that's wrong with it is. That makes sense. I think that makes sense. Although nature could have to do with like the weather and all the sea life and all that stuff. Gee, if Cottrell was still here, then or if Last jumped in, then I would have somebody help me pick which. Let's see. Animal handling, I already have a 2. Insight, I already have a 2. Nature, I have a 0. Same thing with investigation. And then that's it. Perception, stealth, and survival I already have. So yeah, maybe eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. Investigation. I don't know. Maybe I'll change it later. Whatever. Okay. So that's our level 1 stuff. We don't get any spells. Proficiency bonus is 2. So we have a background. We got a background. A shipwright. And then we need an alignment. What kind of alignment are we going to get out here? He's kind of like a freewheeling guy. He's got a good family, but he's still... I think he's still good. Rather than neutral. I think he's a good guy at heart. Lawful good is such a scary alignment, right? Such a scary alignment to play because you feel like you're gonna just like box yourself in, right? But yeah, I don't know. We're gonna think about that one too. All right, personality traits. Let's go through the shipwright and look at some personality traits. I think it's here. Yep, there we go. Shipwright. So, life at sea. All right, so here's influence. Influence, right? Life at sea. Life at sea and import has shaped you. You can roll on the following table to determine the impact or choose an element that best fits your character. Grand designs. So, hide that guy for a minute. And left explorer. Not going to need that again. Halfling. Maybe I need that. I don't know. All right. So choose an element that best fits your character. All right. Grand designs. You're working on plans and schematics for a new, very fast ship. Examine as many different kinds of vessels as possible to ensure the success of your design. I kind of like this one. Solid and sound. You patched up a war galley and prevented it from sinking. The local navy regards you as a friend. Favored. You insisted on thicker planking for a merchant vessel's hull, which saved it from sinking when it smashed against a reef. You have a standing invitation to visit the merchant's distant mansion. Okay. Master of armaments, you specialized in designing and mounting defenses for the Navy. You easily recognize and determine the quality of such items. Low places, you have contacts in the smuggling outfits along the coast. You occasionally repaired the criminal ships in exchange for coin and favors. I mean, I don't know if that could get us tool proficiency though. But all right, Mysteries of the Deep. You experienced an encounter with a possibly divine being while sailing alone. Work with your DM to determine the secret about the deep waters of the sea that this entity revealed to you. A little much. A little much. I think Grand Designs, I think this guy loves ships. I think he's just like into ships, right? Like, let's make a super cool ship. So I don't think this follows under personality traits. But Grand Designs. I'm going to put this influence. What is influence? Depending on scenario, I don't want to track the influence with factions. Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with it. Grand Designs. Okay. I'll just put it under personality traits. And let's go down here. Personality traits. I love talking and being heard more than I like to listen. Not for Charisma 6, I think. Well, maybe. I mean, maybe that's why people don't like him. Extremely fond of puzzles. I thrive under pressure. I love sketching and designing objects, especially boats. I'm not afraid of hard work. In fact, I prefer it. A pipe and ale and the smell of sea. Paradise. I have an endless supply of cautionary tales related to the sea. It could be a little fun, and I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I think he does like sketching boats, but I think he's chill, right? I think I like the pipe, ale, and the smell of the sea. Paradise. Let's break those up a little bit more, and then we'll have our personality trait. Okay, there we go. Some good personality traits. Shipwright ideals. Crew, if everyone on deck pitches in, will never sink. And that's a good trait. Careful lines. A ship must be balanced according to the laws of the universe. Lawful. Maybe. Maybe we are lawful good and it just has less to do with law and more to do with like order, right? Make what you need out of whatever is at hand. Kind of like that too. To measure a being and find it lacking is the greatest disappointment. Evil. Yeah, we're definitely not evil. Muddied water always clears in time. It's very zen. The horizon at sea holds the greatest promise. Hope. Hope. Yeah, I think we might go lawful. Ship must be balanced according to the laws of the universe. I think we can be lawful like in that way without necessarily following every law. He just thinks that there's like a natural order, right? Or does he think that there's a natural chaos where you just make do with things as they are? I think with a low charisma, I could see him getting a little bent out of shape when things aren't just so. Yeah, I think. Oh man, I think we're gonna go lawful stupid. Lawful stupid. We'll try and play lawful good. Let's just make it a challenge. Let's just make it a huge challenge. All right. Because, you know, if you're not challenging yourself, then you're not growing, right? So, oof. I don't think I've ever played a lawful good character before, but let's do it. All right, shipwright bond. So we need to pick a bond. I must visit all the oceans of the world and behold the ships that sail there. Okay. Much of the treasure I claim will be used to enrich my community. Maybe. I must find a kind of wood rumored to possess magical qualities. I kind of dig that one. I repair broken things to redeem what's broken in my... Wow. To redeem what's broken in myself. That's, wow. Okay. Let's let's get honest and deep right there. All right. Let's go, D&D. I will craft a boat capable of sailing through the most dangerous of storms. I mean, we already have like grand designs. We got that on the top. Kraken destroyed my masterpiece. Its teeth shall adorn my hearth. That's very vengeant. And I could see that. I kind of like this. I got to find this kind of wood rumored to possess magical qualities. And he's really interested in that because maybe it's like really light and strong. And then that's how he's going to build like the fastest ship in the world, I think. I think that's okay. For bonds. Now we need some flaws. At least one, right? Okay. I don't know when to throw something away. You never know when it might be useful again. I get frustrated to the point of distraction by shoddy craftsmanship. Though I'm an excellent crafter, my work tends to look as though it belongs on a ship. So obsessed with sketching my ideas for elaborate inventions that I sometimes forget little things like eating and sleeping. I'm judgmental of those who are not skilled with tools of some kind. I sometimes take things that don't belong to me, especially if they are very well made. I think he gets frustrated by shoddy craftsmanship. I think that really goes with like our craftsman. I think that goes with our craftsman halfling here, our shipwright. I think that's, I think we're going to try that for right now. Okay. So where are we at on this guy? So we're still level 1, but we have an alignment. We have kind of a background. We're starting to get like a little personality, right? Like he's not the most personable person. He gets a little upset when things aren't quite ordered and, you know, stuff is made poorly. And that's probably where he gets like his kind of grumpy exterior from. Just doesn't know how to deal with it, right? The chaos of the universe. And we got all of our proficiencies for armors and weapons and languages. We need some more languages, right? Yeah, because we're going to get some languages from Deft Explorer, I think. And then, do we get any languages from Shipwright? I thought we did. History, perception, carpenters, tools, vehicles, water. No languages. Okay. But we should get 2 from... So favored foe doesn't give us any. Deft Explorer. One of your skill proficiencies and double your proficiency bonus with it. Yeah, we'll pick that in a little bit. And then speak, read, and write 2 additional languages of your choice. So we have common and halfling. And so here's this thing, right? So he comes from a good family. His dad's like a woodworker. And I think like somewhere from their history, right? They've always had these certain carvings in their family, and they're kind of into runes, which is going to get into our whatchamacallit, multi-class that I have planned here too. So I want to keep everything in even though Halfling I don't think is in Dwarven script. But I think we want to get some, so we're going to get Giant and Draconic anyways with our subclass and with our 2 subclasses from our 2, because we're going to multi-class. So I'm already going to get those, but I think we're going to take maybe Dwarvish. I think we're going to take Dwarvish. And can I reorder these? I know I can if I do this. Dwarvish will end up with Giant and Draconic. Let's see, D&D 5e, Dwarvish script languages. Let's see if we can script. Yeah, this is what I wanted. Dwarvish. So we'll get Giant. So basically, I think Goblin. Yeah, let's take Goblin. Because that covers like goblins and hobgoblins. And what else? And goblins, hobgoblins, and bugbears. So yeah, why not? We'll say we got some common, some halfling, some dwarvish, and some goblin, and those are mostly like some whatchamacallits, dwarvish scripts, right? Even though halfling is a common script, whatever. But we know some dwarvish scripts. They're kind of related languages, right? And I think that's cool. So what else do we got to do before we start leveling? Get our features. I think we're going to have to get some money and some gear, but, you know, we can do that in a little bit. And let's see, bio, age. Okay, we can start filling this out. Sure, why not? So I think we're going to go middle-aged on this, right? Like, so he's, maybe? I think he's, let's do 20 plus. How long do halflings live? How long do halflings live? Halflings, who remembers how long halflings live? I know it says in here somewhere. Usually it says. Age of 20, lives into the middle of his or her 2nd century. Okay. So they get pretty old. And this guy, he is into order, right? Yeah, so he knows how, he has some idea how things should be done. The world doesn't always fit that preference. And that's not like a, that's like somebody with like some experience, right? Like he's got some experience as a shipwright. So maybe let's do like 20 plus D100. Let's do /roll D100. See what we get. 54? I don't know. Let's make him 54. Screw it. So he's a little bit older. Been around a little bit, but still kind of young in his age for a halfling, right? And so let's find the height and weight. Height and weight. Backgrounds, height and weight. That's the one that I'm looking for. All right, so backgrounds, height and weight. So halfling 2/7 plus 2d4. So /r 2d4. 5. So 2/7. So that's exactly 3 foot. 3 foot 0 inches. All right, and 35 pounds plus the 7 times 1, so we're like 42 whole lbs. Should we put metric in here too? I wonder what that is in metric. Convert 3 foot to meter. Okay, 0.91. So I wonder, you know, I really want, because I know like Europe, right? They're gonna do their height in like what, centimeters? Meters? They're probably doing their height in meters. How many decimals do you go out to, right? So like centimeters 100. So we could say he's 91 centimeters, right? And that's still right. 0.9, 2 decimals to go to the meter. Yeah, so he's 91 centimeters. Why not? We use degrees Canadian. All right, and then let's see how many kilograms he is. Let's see, convert. So what are we? 42 pounds. Weight. Mass. Even though I know pounds are not mass. Yep, I get it. 19 kilograms. Okay, got some metric stuff going on. Eyes, you know, we're just gonna make him brown, and I think, what is ruddy? I'm pretty sure when you look up halfling appearance, small and diminutive. Sure, yeah, so brown or sandy brown, wavy, brown or hazel eyes. We're gonna do some long sideburns. Beards or rare. Mustaches even more so. All right, and then I thought in here they used to say something about, oh, skin ranges from tan to pale with a ruddy cast. Okay. I don't know what that's like, kind of reddish, I think, right? Reddish? Ruddy is like reddish. But he's gonna be pretty tan from being on the ship all the time. And just have some brown hair. Pretty, all right, so whatever. We're not gonna get any spells level 1. We're gonna have to level up to do that, right? But I think this is, besides just getting our equipment, I think that gives us like a level 1 character that we're done with, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And only an hour and a half in. Jeez. How fast could I go? I was chit-chatting a lot though, so that's fair. We're kind of explaining and going along and picking stuff. And that's okay. So gear, how do we get our money backgrounds? I think it's in here. If I'm roll for gold, it's by class, right? Pretty sure it's not in the background section. Equipment, if you use the optional rule to spend coin on gear, you do not receive the starting equipment from your background. Good to know. What does our background give us? Shipwright, carpenter's tool, equipment, carpenter's tools, a blank book, ounce of ink, an ink pen, traveler's clothes, and leather pouch with 10 gold. Yeah. And then what does ranger give us? Ranger gave us scale mail or leather, so we're gonna be taking the leather. 2 short swords. I kind of want a shield. The pack's okay, and the longbow is just not usable, so maybe we'll figure out the optional gold, right? To customize your background, you can replace one feature with any other one. Choose any 2 skills. Choose a total of 2 tool proficiencies or languages. Okay, so maybe we're gonna do some thieves tools. Yeah, I mean, instead of, I don't think we can though. I mean, we could lose the skills, but take thieves tools? Yeah, I don't know. Languages. That's right. Nope, that's just going to get us to background. Back to the player's handbook. Starting. Maybe I can just. Nope. What do I search the SRD for to get the table for gold by class? And I've done rules. I should know. See, some things are just like way easier in the SRD, right? Like in the book. So I can go to here and pull up tools. Pull up the compendium. And I know it's in the player's handbook. And is there a table of contents? There sure is. I want to say it's right before you can start buying stuff. Hold on, maybe it's down. Yeah, it's not down there. It's like an optional. Here, we got all the languages. This page. We don't want to go through all the backgrounds. We don't want to go through all the backgrounds. Wow. Okay. Let's watch me scroll. All right. Nobody knows, huh? Okay. Using each ability, time movement, character, advancement, expenses, armor. It's right before armor? Question mark. Equipment, starting equipment. There we go. Ranger, 5d4 times 10 gold pieces. All right, so 20 up to 200. 2. Average is like 2.5 on a d4, right? So times 5. So we should get at least 125 gold pieces on average to buy equipment with. And 5d4 times 10. How much is like leather armor worth? Leather armor, 10 gold. So yeah, all right, 5d4. Let's go. 5d4. Oh, come on, make me rich. All right, so I got, wow, I rolled 3 1s, a 2, and a 3. So, you know, I just can't catch a break. I just can't catch a break. All right, so we're gonna have 80 gold pieces. All right. Ouch, man. That sucked. All right, so studded would be like half of our. That's 45. And then amateur swords and stuff. Next page. I don't go shopping enough to know. Short swords 10. How much? I should have seen how much a shield was. Short bow is 25. 45, 25. Maybe I'll just scale. Okay. Maybe I'll just take the equipment and scale down the longbow to a short bow. That's pretty fair, I think. So the longbow costs twice as much. And I could use it. Yeah. Because I got jacked on my gold roll. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay. There's only one person, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to tell on me. All right. So let's look at what our equipment was going to be again. Ghostwise doesn't give us anything. Ranger, we're going to take a short bow instead of a long bow, and then we'll just take... okay, so what's the difference between a shield and a short sword? Well, let's see if that's a fair trade. So short sword was 10 gold pieces, right? Short sword 10. And then if we go back to get a shield, where was the shield? Is 10. So that's like a fair trade. I'm just going to trade some sap for it. So we are going to get leather armor. All right, so leather armor. We'll take that. I don't feel like that worked. There we go. Leather armor. All right, screw it. We'll do short sword. One word. Can do it. There you go. Good job. We'll do a shield instead of a short sword. I think that's fair. Especially, he's gonna be level 3. I mean, I really ought to get like a bunch of extra gold anyways at level 3, right? Dungeoneers pack. We'll take the Explorers pack. No matter what, because we're a ranger. Explorers pack and a short bow. Short bow. And then quiver. Are you being weird? And then an arrow. And we'll make it 20 arrows. Okay. And that's it. All right. So that's it from Ranger. And then Shipwright. Equipment. Carpenter's tools. So I'm going to take some Carpenter's tools and then items. I feel like that didn't work. There we go. Okay. And then blank book. Book of Exalted Deeds. A book? I think that makes sense to have actually, because you know he's going to be drawing stuff. So ink. We get some ink and an ink pen. There we go. Ink pen and traveler's clothes. Traveler's clothes. There we go. Oh, it's a little easier when you drag it down there. Sweet. Leather pouch. Leather pouch. We'll just say a pouch. And then we'll go 10 gips. All right. So now we're pretty much set. We got our level 1 guy. It's even got all of our short sword, short bow, armor class 16. All I really need is what is my who's it going to be like? Because for what was it, Deft Explorer? So we choose one of our skill proficiencies, and it's doubled for an ability check with that proficiency. So I'm gonna say, what do we want? Maybe one of our shipwright skills, right? Like history, investigation, perception, stealth. I mean, it's nice to just be super stealthy and just disappear, but having like ungodly perception is nice too. Especially, I mean, he's got to keep his eye on the ship and figure out what's going wrong with it, right? So maybe we double on perception. And I can do that by going in here, I think. And I can take perception and go expertise. And now, boom, I got +6 to perception. That's pretty sick. Level 1. All right. Now we're going to go to level 2 and see what we get. All right. So a ranger at level 2 is going to get a fighting style for sure. And we get some extra HPs, right? And then we get some spells. Cool. So fighting style, spell casting, HP, and some spells. All right. So D10. Or 6 plus your con mod. All right. Come on, dice. You gotta be nice to me. All right, be nice. 8. Okay, 8. I'll take it. 8 extra HPs. So at level 2, we would have 18 HPs. Okay, and then we're gonna get some spells and a fighting style, right? So here I think, shoosh. So I'm gonna end up with 2 fighting styles, one from ranger and one from fighter, right? Because we're gonna do a little multi-class at level 3 just to get that one level of fighter in there, but we're gonna end up with like three or 4 levels of fighter at some point to make this guy really cool. Little secret. So he's a halfling ranger. We're gonna go Drake Warden ranger to get, just because it's cool out of Fizzbands, and I wanted to make it really cool. I started looking at halfling, and because Ghostwise gets the dex and the wisdom bonus, right? And so then I want to do something cool with the other thing. Like if I was totally trying to optimize, I would go with like some rogue in there. But I really want to do Rune Knight because you can make a giant halfling. So, oh man, I should really do rogue. Ghostwise. Oh man, I really should. And then that would give me thieves tools and stuff too. Anyways, where am I at? Level 2. I got my hit points and fighting styles. So I know I'm going to get archery. But there's some added fighting styles in Tasha's, and I wanted to look at Druidic Warrior. So this is one of the fighting styles that's available to the Ranger, and it's kind of cool because Rangers don't get cantrips, and here you get 2 cantrips from the Druid spell list, so not really blaster or anything, but you get some, you're still using wisdom, and you still have 2 cantrips, and that's it. You don't get an actual spell, but you get 2 cantrips from the druid spell list. So if we look up here and we look for druid spell list, maybe this will work. I don't know. Nope. Druid spells by level. What? Wait, what? So I didn't realize these can't be druid spells, right? No, that's fine. I was like, booming blade for a druid? They don't get that cool of cantrips. There's no freaking way. Guidance, that's an awesome cantrip. And I mean, I don't really need to get a blaster or anything, but let's say we got guidance. Mending could be fun, especially for ship, right? No real, we're not talking about any combat ability. Because basically what I was looking at is trying to decide, either do I go Druid Warrior and get like 2 cool cantrips where I can do something. I mean, Thunderclap, that might be nice. That's like right around you if you get in trouble, because we're going to be mostly range type of stuff. So do I get the 2 cantrips, or do I go with the -1 AC out of fighter? But either way, we're going to have to take archery as one of our fighting styles. How's it going, guys? As you come on in, please feel free to hit the follow button in there too. I would totally appreciate it. We're trying to work towards getting our affiliate right now. So as you come by, feel free to like just hit that button, even if you can't hang out for too long or you're too shy to chat. We also have, like, I'm pretty sure the best lurk command on Twitch. Yeah, absolutely the best lurk command on Twitch. So if nothing else, hey Toy, how you doing? Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Just in here trying to decide how to build up my ranger. Thanks for dropping into the Twitch channel with the best lurk lurk command on Twitch. Oh, there's some fun stuff. Ooh, excuse me. Plus, as you hang out, you're going to automatically be getting Electrum too, which is kind of cool. And you'll be able to use that once we start. We're starting season 1, like our first adventure on the 17th of January. And you'll be able to use that Electrum to like give boosts and stuff to all the players. Oh yeah, I was helping Nagy to create hers. That's why I'm kind of like circling back right now to make mine too. So in this case, right, so I'll be the DM for the first 2 adventures. And so I'm planning on the players hitting like level 3 coming out of the second adventure, I think. In which case I need to make my ranger level 3, because Laz is going to be doing the adventure immediately following, like the level 3 adventure. And so I'll need to be like up with everybody. Right now I'm just having a hard time deciding between the Druidic Warrior fighting style, which is one of the new ones, to get some cantrips, or if just getting 1 AC is better. Because I'm going to do a little cool ranger fighter multi-class, even though I probably should be doing a rogue multi-class. But just to do Runic Knight. Runic Knight, so this is pretty sick. Let me show you this. So this is a halfling, right? So I don't think you've been here the whole time I'm making him. So this is a halfling ranger, and the plan is to go to oh, maybe it's Rune Knight. Yeah, it's Rune Knight. So I wanted to make a Drake Warden, which is a new subclass of ranger that is in Fizzbands. Right? So this is actually the book that we're going to be giving away. I think there's like a whole giveaway thing in there. I think there's a command for giveaway still. And it's the new giveaway, but the same book. We're just trying to hit 100 followers on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. And as soon as we do that, the next show, we're going to go ahead and give away another book. So that's pretty cool. If you're not following all those, make sure to follow those so you got a chance at winning them. But in there is this Drake Warden, right? So it's basically like a ranger, and then you get a little dragon spirit pet, right? And so I'm trying to figure out how to make a really cool dragon Drake Warden, and decided to go with this whole Ghostwise halfling because they get a dex bonus and a whiz bonus. Perfect, right? But he's like this little small halfling guy, right? He's like 3 feet tall. And so I was looking at it, and yeah, I could kind of optimize him by going into rogue, which is probably what I should do, because I don't think anybody has thieves tools proficiencies for like traps or anything in our party at all. And so that dip is probably worth it. But I found this, right? So where'd he go? Rune, did I not pull up Rune Knight? So I found Rune Knight. And where was this in? This was in Tasha's, right? So Rune Knight at level 3, and we're only going to do like a 3 or 4 level dip because we just want to get a couple of runes, which are pretty cool. So once we get there, this cloud rune is pretty sick. The one thing, all the runes are going to use con as our modifier, so I don't want anything that's a DC, right? But automatically cloud rune, you get some advantage on sleight of hand and deception checks, whatever. That's while you're wearing it. But when you activate the rune, as a reaction, when you see somebody attack like your buddy or yourself, then you make it hit somebody else. So that's pretty cool, right? Like, so somebody rolls a crit against me or somebody rolls a crit against Nagy, and I'm like, no, fuck that. You just hit your buddy, and like this magic clouds appear and they just like chop off their buddy's head with their crit. Good job for critting us. See what happens, you know? So I like that one. And then Stone Rune is going to get rid, it's going to make it so we can have dark vision as a halfling. So super sick because it's nice to have dark vision. It's like one of the cool things. And then this one we'll probably never really invoke. This is going to be a DC, right? To try and charm a creature. Wisdom saving throw, and we're not going to have a great con, so that's probably not going to work. But we'll get advantage on insight checks and have dark vision to 120 feet. So that's pretty sick. The best part, the coolest part, and it comes in at level 3, is Giant's Might, right? And it's not like super OP. It's just fucking awesome for a halfling, right? So you have a halfling at size small. My dude's like 3 feet tall even, right? And this makes you grow. If you're smaller than large, you become large, right? Which is like, I don't know, like 12 or 15 feet tall. So all of a sudden you have this halfling, and then he goes from being size small to being size large, right? So his bow turns into like almost like a ballista, right? And I mean, you do get an extra D6 on one of your attacks, and then you get your advantage and all this stuff. But I just love like the RP feel of it, right? That he like because he's like throws out this rune or whatever, and he grows to like the size of a giant, and he goes from being like a halfling to like, so you have a halfling would be size small, and then so just a ling, right? A one ling would be like size medium, so size large he would be like a doubling, right? Right? So oh, does Barbarian Rage have that feature too? That'd be pretty funny. So this is like gonna be like this halfling that just turns giant, right? And I thought that would be like just super fun. Instead of being a halfling, he'll be a doubling. So we're gonna do Drake Warded Rune Knight and just have a shit ton of fun with it. And I think we're at level 2 right now, and I'm trying to bring him up to level 3. I already know I'm gonna take archery, so we can probably throw that in here. Because we're mostly going to be using the bow, and I think we just throw this in here. Yeah, fighting style archery, and we're going to do some fun stuff with like sharpshooter later on and stuff like that. But we got, and then we're going to get a couple spells for our ranger, right? So I need to find a ranger spell list and figure out how many spells do I get. I get 2 spells of first level, and then I'll actually go ahead and just do all 3 because we're definitely going to go to 3rd level here, right? And so what I need to do is find a spells list for, let's just go back and we'll do ranger spell list. How do I remove, let's clear this. Can we clear it? Can we clear it? Okay, well, that's kind of silly. Oh, there we go. Okay, thanks. It was just a little laggy. So I should have only ranger. Yeah, these look like ranger spells. So I think we're definitely gonna have to go cure wounds, right? And then we get one other one. Cure wounds are good berry. We got to go hunter's mark for sure. And searing smite I don't think works with ranged weapons. Zephyr strike. Zephyr's bonus action is going to be really taxed in a ranger, right? Rangers have a lot of uses for bonus actions. This is only melee. I don't know. Yeah, melee weapon attack. So I think we're going to ditch that. Zephyr strike. No opportunity attacks. Give yourself advantage on a one weapon attack roll. Deal 1d8. And you get super fast. I kind of like that spell, even for range. But right now we're only getting 3 spells, and I don't think I'm going to prioritize that. I don't know what our third spell is going to be, though. You guys have any favorite, like, first level spells? Because I think, like, Goodberry's pretty good, especially being on it. Like, think about somebody who's going to be, like, living on a ship, right? If you ever get, like, run out of food and water and all that stuff, like, Goodberry could keep, like, a good number of people alive, right? Because that's all the food you need for an entire day. And you get, like, 10 berries. All right, so you can keep, like, 10 people alive and in good health. Goodberry's pretty sick. For something like that, and that's like, you know, get shipwrecked or something like that. Cure wounds is touch. I mean, maybe we just do cure wounds anyways, and we just decide between cure wounds and Goodberry for right now. And we have to get hunter's mark, right? I mean, you just can't not get hunter's mark. Hunter's mark. So we already know we're getting that. And then yeah, Goodberry cure wounds. Goodberry cure wounds. Cure wounds can do 1d8 plus spell casting. The other one just does 10. But this could be like, right? You can't really like use Goodberries like right in the middle of a combat or something. So I think we'll go ahead and just take it. Cure wounds. It's a touch. And then we'll go ahead and do Goodberry too. Even though I kind of want like something like Fog Cloud or something like that, right? As a ship to like get away from other like enemy ships and stuff. All right, so we got all our spells. For actually, I can't take both of those because we're not going Ranger level 3. Oops. So Cure Wounds or Goodberry. I'm just gonna pick Goodberry because it's rangery. And it's nourishing, and I don't know, like maybe you can just mash it down somebody's mouth when they pass out or something. So we got Hunter's Mark, Goodberry. We're just doing 2 ranger levels right now. We already got our hit points, we got our fighting style, spellcasting. Now we're gonna get crazy and get a fighter level. Which actually I guess we should have done. I think I'm going to go Druidic Warrior instead of taking the AC. Character sheet core. So let's say we did Druidic Warrior instead. Warrior. So let's say we did Druidic Warrior and take our Druid cantrips. Oops. Pop-ups. Alright. Kind of like this idea. Name classes. Oh, okay, that was weird. We can clear out Ranger, or we'll just add Druid. I like Guidance. I like Guidance is like one of the best cantrips ever. Alright, so we can take Guidance. And then Mending. I think Mending is our cantrip. Like, I know Poison Spray, like some other some of these could be pretty good, right, for damage and all that stuff, but I feel like Mending goes really well with our... It's kind of funny, it's not really a fighting style, is it? Just giving you like 2 cantrips and you take Mending and Guidance, but whatever, we're doing it. Because for a shipwright, which is our background, having Mending is probably pretty good. I don't know, maybe before we start I'll go in and change it around a little bit, but this is looking good so far for me. And so that means that when we go to a level 1 fighter now, I'm gonna go ahead, we're not even going to be a Drake Warden right away, or a Rune Knight. I could probably just close these out, even though that's the plan. Oh, here he is. Druidic Warrior we can close. Alright, so now we just got to go a level of fighter. And I want to look up 2 things, because I want to look up multi-classing as well. I'm going to open up fighter. But what I want to look up is multi-class, because you don't get everything when you multi-class, right? So just because I get a fighter, I'm not sure, I don't remember. So we do have to have strength 13 or dexterity 13, which we do have. And then you also have to have the prerequisites coming out of the class that you're multi-classing from. So I was already a ranger, so that means I have to have dex 13 and wisdom 13 to get out of ranger, and then strength or dex 13 to get into fighter, and I have that. So that's fine. And then the hit dice we're going to use from the fighter class, which I think is actually the same anyways. So for our hit points, should still be a D10. So yeah, he's still at a D10. You can do that and see how I'm not having the best luck with dice. Roll D10. 2. Yeah, you know, that's just how this is going to be. So now we got 20 hit points at level 3. Jesus. I might have to find like a feed or something to boost the hit points a little bit. I don't know. So we do get the hit points and proficiency bonus we're not worried about. Fighter, we get light armor, medium armor. I think we already had that, right? You don't get heavy armor when you cross into fighter. Shields, simple weapons, martial weapons. So I already had all that from ranger. So I don't really get any cool proficiencies from it, right? Like if I crossed into rogue, I could get those thieves tools. So making sure no new proficiencies because we already had it. And basically, I think at first level, we're just going to get this archery fighting style. Right, so we'll drag this over here. So now we got archery fighting style. I was thinking about the defense fighting style to get an extra bonus to AC, but I think we may just go with the druidic for right now. And I think that you have a chance to change your fighting style for reasons, but I can't remember what the reasons are. I don't know. But I'll finalize it before, you know, this character goes live. What else do we get? Fighter first level should have second wind also. So we need to add second wind. Classes fighter, second wind. There we go. And so now we get a second wind. And this is pretty much our level 3 character, right? We got a real shit roll on hit points. Got mostly rangery stuff going on. And then the plan from here, right? So I wanted to get fighter in there just so that the multi-class is like out of the way, because this one is starting at level 3. So he's a little bit of a fighter, a little bit of a ranger. And then we're just going to go from there. And where we go from there, in case you're curious, is level 5 Drake Warden. And level 5 Ranger Drake Warden, right? So basically at level 3 is where level 3 Ranger is where we're going to get the Drake Warden coming in, right? So we're probably going to give him a trinket that's like, because his parents are all wood carver, like dad's a wood carver, right? Long line of wood carvers, little halfling wood carvers, and that's where he got his tool proficiencies from. And then I gotta change this music, this halfling music. I want to go to let's go to the fishing village instead. So his dad was a wood carver, and that's where he learned how to, carve, and got his wood carving. I like that lurk. Have a good lurk and enjoy your spell of invisibility. So that's where he got his proficiency in like his carpenter's tools, and he loved boats, so that's why he had to like leave home, because he's like wants to build the fastest boat in the world, right? And so one of the things about the Ghostwise halflings is that they always have something from like their homeland, right? And so I think that what he has is like a little, like almost like a Fabergé egg, but it's wooden, right? And it's just been in his family forever. And so since he's leaving home, dad gives him this egg to take with him on his journey, so that he'll always have some piece of home, right? And I think that once we hit level 4, which is our level 3 ranger, that's where this draconic spirit comes from, right? So, and then his dragon companion, right? And so we'll hit that and get a nice Drake companion at level 3. So that's not going to scale until 7th level ranger, but that's going to take us a while because of this multi-class. And basically the first thing we're going to do is go to level 5 ranger, and here's the reason why. If you guys are like super into D&D, you already know what happens at level 5 for every like martial class. That's awesome, right? Extra attack. And so that's going to be super important for just getting a little bit of extra, like keeping up with damage with like the monk and the spellcasters and stuff like that, and being useful in combat. So we're going to go straight to this. At this point, this will put us 1 level of fighter and 5 levels of ranger. The favored enemy, we actually took favored foe and deft explorer, which are the Tasha's. These are from Tasha's book, right? So deft explorer is an option for rangers. Let's see. I don't know if this is worth going to 6 ranger. The other one was favored foe, also in Tasha's. And so favored foe at 6th level, it would go from a D4 to a D6. So that's like 1 point of damage. And then at 6th level, we get a little bit of walking speed. But I really want to bring in my cool like Rune Knight feature, right? So I'll probably go 5 ranger, and then we'll go at least 3, maybe 4 fighters, so that we can get the this ability score improvement we'll get, and we'll probably take sharpshooter. What I'm thinking, at least sharp. I kind of wanted to do a crossbow build because he could use a light crossbow and get a D8 damage die. And I was going to go crossbow expert, but staying mostly ranger levels, because we are going to end up doing like 15, 16 ranger levels in here to keep it mostly ranger. And just, you don't have the ASIs because we want sharpshooter, and then we also want to jack up our dex too, right? But we're going to get 1, 2, 3, for 5 total ASIs, and we gotta get sharpshooter. I think actually we have to get crossbow expert for the point blank anyways. Maybe not. But there's oh, one of the feats that we're definitely gonna get is the there's like a halfling luck feat, which is pretty sick. Sharpshooter lets us do all kinds of extra damage, plus 10, and no disadvantage on ranged, like long range. And then this halfling luck, bountiful luck. This is where you get to give your halfling luck to all your companions, which is going to be super sick. And we're going to get that as like a an ASI or a feat in there later. But then we also need to get our dexterity all jacked up, right? So yeah, so we're going to go 5 or 6 ranger. I guess we'll kind of feel it out at the time. But I definitely want to get into Rune Knight as quick as possible too, just because it's going to be such a fun feature. Don't tell Nagy or Laz or Jimmy or anybody, because this should be like super fun when we do it. And just like all of a sudden our fucking halfling dude is like 15 feet tall, and it'll just be hilarious, right? Giant halfling on the battlefield. And so yeah, that's kind of where this build came from, right? Going through building a Drake Warden, and since he ended up as a halfling, I wanted to play around, do some fun stuff. So he's gonna end up as a pretty fun little halfling to play. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And we're gonna get a couple extra languages along the way. We get like Giantish and Draconic through the 2 subclasses, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think this ranger is, he just needs a name and a little bit of a bio, right? And so what I was thinking is he doesn't have a whole lot of charisma anyways. Since he's going to be Drake Warden, I was thinking Francis Drake, right? So maybe his first name is Francis. I kind of like it. I was debating between Francis and Natalie, right? Natalie, like Natalie, but no, it's pronounced Natalie. But I think I like Francis just because of the whole like Sir Francis Drake. Unless Sir Francis Drake was like a complete dick. He was an English naval officer. Yeah, he was a slave trader. What the? Went around the world. But, I mean, I don't know. Do we want to name somebody after a slave trader, though? No, not really. Yeah. All right. Well, fuck Francis, then. Francis Drake. I mean, yeah, that could have been cool if he wasn't, like, a slaver. Yeah, so I guess we're going to keep Natalie, then. And not care where it comes from. I have no idea why I want this character to get picked on for having a girl's name, or something that sounds like a girl's name, but I think I want him to just get pissed off at somebody for trying to make fun of him. And then, so I think for a family name, right? Family of woodcarvers, and I wanted to find something cool in there, like not like Sawhorse or something like that. And so I was thinking Bright Chisel or Cold Chisel, because like a Cold Chisel is an actual tool, but I think we're gonna go Bright Chisel because that seems like a more halfling trade name, right? So I think now we have Natalie Bright. It's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be good if I can't even say it right. Natalie Bright Chisel. Sir Francis Drake have to just let the world down by being a dumbass. You know, that's why we Google things. But we got kind of a little bit of background that I'm going to like expand on as we go forward, or before we even play a little bit, right? So, and we'll get some appearance in there. I got the artist ready to work on his character and stuff too, but I think he's like from a happy family. And Da was actually a line of maybe his mom is the wood carver. Let's just say fucking Ma is a wood carver. Da is a stay-at-home dad. Because why not? Mom's good at it. Because she's just from a long line. From a long line of wood carvers. And his dad is just a stay-at-home dad that raises the kids. So he's probably got like, I don't know, let's say big family, maybe, potentially. Let's say a D6. A D6 brothers. 6 brothers, all right. And D6 sisters. Yeah, wow. So, yeah, apparently the only time I can roll in D20 is for something like brothers and sisters. He has 6 brothers and 4 sisters. Feels like it's getting a little crazy. I mean, maybe that's why he wanted to leave home, right? There's just no opportunity in the family business. And he really liked boats, right? So, with little opportunity available. All my background noise just died. Come on, guys. Where should we go? Let's go to the Wizard's Tower. Let's try the Wizard's Tower and see if that's any good. Seems pretty chill. You guys start like falling asleep or anything because the music's like super chill, then let me know. With little opportunity available to excel in the family business, Natalie embraced his fascination with ships and left home to become a ship builder. Specifically, he wants to build the fastest ship in the world. Yeah, I like it. And he's got 6 brothers and 4 sisters and a mom and dad that the DMs can try to fuck with and kidnap, right? So hopefully he makes some good money to pay ransoms. I don't know, but I kind of like it. And yeah, I think he's gonna be fun. He's gonna be like a little bit grumpy. I don't know if you guys were here when we were doing some of his personality traits, but yeah, he's working on a new ship, right? He wants to build like the fastest ship in the world, but he loves a good pipe. I actually got one. I got a pipe. Just for this character. Yeah, sure. A pipe, an ale. I don't have an ale, but I got a drink. And the smell of the sea. And he's in paradise. So we're playing lawful good, boys and girls, and everybody. Ship must be balanced according to the laws of the universe. So this lawful good, I'm not going to keep him like where he's afraid of stealing or breaking the law, right? He might even be like a little bit of a smuggler sometimes and does some shady shit. But law to him is like how things are built and just things being in order, right? Like having a plan and sticking to the plan. It has nothing to do with like the laws of men, but you can't build a 2-legged stool, right? Like it's got to have 3 or 4 legs. You got to build things even and plumb and flush and have a good butt joint, right? You can't make the joint all jacked up like that. Like stuff like the little things are going to get to him, right? Can't leave a brick out of place. Like, yeah, that's like his law is like this order, really, right? So that's how we're going to play him. And then he has this as his bond, right? Going to find a magical wood. Like there's got to be some rumor of like some wood out there because he wants to build the fastest ship. So now he needs like this really strong, really light wood with some magical kind of qualities, right? Maybe it's super slippery and will let the boat move through the water faster or something. And again, this is plays on like his need for order, right? Is the gets frustrated by shoddy craftsmanship to the point where it's like drives him nuts. So I think we have like a little fun, brave halfling, a little bit of luck, a little bit of braveness. He's got like some crazy like psychic powers where he can talk to you through your mind. I'm not 100% certain if I kind of like having the cantrips there. I don't know if it's worth having because we could be at 17 AC if we just took the defense, but that's not, I don't know. Like, I just like spells. You know what I mean? Like, it's fun to have like little cantrips and stuff, because that's one of the things about a ranger is that, but guidance is a sick cantrip. I don't know if anybody else took it. I would guess that our bard did because it's that good. But when he's DMing, still have it. A little bit of healing, a little bit of damage. I think this is a good character. It'll be fun. Some really fun stuff coming on a little bit later. And I think that's level 3, guys and gals. I think that's a level 3 ranger. So, how do I... Level 3? I think I need to go to here, and I can do second class. Fighter level 1. So I probably need this at 2. 4. Nope. 3. Ranger. How do I get that to show up? Second class, fighter level 1. Oh, somebody's home and arguing. All right. Let's take that off for a second. Make him level 2. 4. All right. We got Ranger level 2. You little should just be able to add this. That, and maybe I do need to keep this as 3. Yeah, oh, Ranger 3, okay, there we go. So I need to put this as 2. And then we got Ranger 2, Fighter 1. All right, cool, figured it out. Awesome. I see we got some people hanging out for the end of the Ranger build. So I hope you enjoyed seeing how that guy's going to go. If there's any builds that you're interested in seeing, just go ahead and pop it in chat. And I could share some stuff. I got like a whole spreadsheet of builds that I've already done, and we could even throw one together. I've done some stuff, if you wanted to check it out, that includes like a tabaxi that runs like 290 miles an hour at level 20. I did a Nova damage build that does like, geez, I can't remember. It's like 450, 500 damage in a single round. Like full just Nova explosion. And then there's, what else? I did a pet build once to see how many like crazy pets I could get. But we could really do anything. I haven't done a coffee lock yet. There's definitely some stuff online about doing this crazy like warlock build where you never sleep and somehow like never run out of spell slots. And it sounds a little crazy. It might be worth trying someday. I always want to try like a blade lock too. What else? One of the ones I was almost going to do for this campaign was the Tempest Cleric Storm Sorcerer. Or possibly even like the more life side of Sorcerer, if depending on going like more full damage caster versus having more healing caster. But yeah, are there any builds anybody's interested in seeing? We can throw some stuff together if y'all would like. Or is everybody just on the lurk tip? Everybody just came for the invisibility spell and everybody's on lurk, racking up Electrum. How much Electrum do you all have by now, by the way? I can't follow myself, but have 520 Electrum. I don't know how many you all have racked up yet, but those Electrum are what we're going to use so that you can interact with the game. So right now you're automatically getting those. Someday when we have subs, then you can get 3 times as much by being a sub. But for right now, it just is what it is. I think you're getting about 100 every 10 minutes or something. Although I don't have no idea why I only have 520. It feels like I should have a bit more than that by now. Yeah, it really feels like it should be more. I don't know if it's going by 10. And Kiska wants to come say hi. So everybody say hi to Kiska. Turn around and look at the... ooh, she really wants to climb on my shoulder right now. And it kind of hurts. Not going to lie. So much better when I have a sweater on because her little claws just dig right through. You want to say hi to everybody? Kiska? Yeah. You looking at me? Okay. This is Kiska, our little hairless cat. She is doing much better. Recently, she was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma and had a big mass taken out. She had to have like a surgery and everything. And her left side of her mouth was all like swollen up and she was having a hard time eating. It was pretty bad. But the surgery kind of fixed that. I didn't necessarily fix the cancer. So I kind of spoil her. I let her do whatever she wants. But she's at least feeling better. And she gets a lot of pets every day. Likes beard cuddles. So she's going to be bad when I have to go back to the base and have to shave off my beard. But that happens every month. So I'm not seeing any builds that anybody wants to see. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I would want to do. Besides, I finished up all my ranger stuff. I think we're pretty good with that. Nice fun character to play in the journal. This one. I have Natalie Bright Chisel, the level 3 Ranger Fighter Ghostwise Halfling that will be joining in like the 3rd adventure. Not the first adventure that's starting on the 17th of January, because I'll be DMing and this will be my cool little character. All right. Well, we are getting on towards the 3-hour mark, and I know I heard people coming home. And Kiska wants some attention and stuff too. So let's see if we can find who's on right now. Surprisingly, let's see. Do you guys want to go to a D&D stream or just to random stream? See somebody that's. What am I kidding? I don't know how to do a raid from I don't know how to do a raid from Stream Elements. Playing Dungeons and Dragons online. None of the Dungeons and Dragons streams that I watch are on right now. So maybe I'll just play you guys out. I think it's going to be time for me to go back to the family for some holidays. I hope that you have some fun stuff to do this week with your family as well, and hope that you have good holidays with all your people or with whatever you're doing this week. Feel free to drop me a line on Twitter. I generally answer the Taking Turns D&D Twitter. You can probably also find my personal Twitter as well at Where's Mike, but I'm not as up to speed with that one. Definitely give the Taking Turns one a follow, and give us a follow here on Twitch and the YouTube if you can too. The next giveaway that we're going to be doing is, wow, that is a horrible command, Stream Elements. That did not come out good at all. Giveaway. Really? I made a command for giveaway, and apparently that's like a stop command. So now I need to, okay, I need to add a different command. Good to know. There's no giveaway running. I'll change that one. But we are giving away Fizzband's Treasury of Dragons as soon as we hit 100 followers in Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. So give all three of those a follow, and I may tune in next week. But if not, I'll see you all on January 17th for our first adventure. Thanks for tuning in. Take care and happy holidays.